Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. Today I am going to be making some, hopefully something that looks like wooden doors. I do have some samples, let me show you those, where I was testing things out. Okay, so this, yeah, came out too glossy for me, but it still kind of was supposed to be representative of a barn door, something like that. Um, this one also was like a tin door. I was going for the tin look. um, Kind of came out okay, but whenever I added the sealant, it became very sticky and still is sticky, very sticky. So that didn't really work for me. And then there's this one, which is pretty much what I'm going to be going for today, minus some of the sparkles in it. I'm not going to add the sparkles, but yeah, I don't know if mine's going to look like this. So it will be going up and down just like this. And then, yeah, so I have these now. But this one looks like a wall to me. Like if I turn it, it looks like it's a wall peeling. But so these are pretty much what we're going to be making. I'm going to be turning this into, like I said, some doors. And as you can see, I'm marked out here. These are going to be windows, hopefully. So if I mess this one up, I have more cardboard to stand by and redo this. But so I thought I would show you guys how I plan on doing this. I did find a couple of videos that I watched. One was a long time ago, and that's what inspired me. His name was Drew Scott, I think his name was. So I watched Drew Scott's video, and this kind of inspired me to make this. And then since then, I've seen a couple other people who have made these. So first thing we're going to do is peel it. Um, this one, let me just bring these right back up. Sorry about this. Okay, so this one, I just took off the whole top layer to make this one. This one, I just did here and there, but mostly every one got a little tear. This one, as you can see, is a lot wider between these ridges. So I'm going to go with the lot wider ridges. And I'm hopefully going, it won't matter here because that will be cut out. So I need to concentrate around these areas um, and see if I can get these. So I got this little sharp pointy thing. I also got the spatula. I got my score, anything. Oh, and I got a knife, anything sharp to try and cut into this a little bit because we're not going all the way through. But it is multi-layered, as you can see. Um, and for what we're doing, just this part with the gesso and the ink, we're only going to use this top layer here. So we're going to remove that or parts of that. So I think I'll just go ahead and start. Let's see. Oh, and this is going to be where the doors are cut in half. So, okay, I think we'll just start here. Puncture it a little. And yeah, just get some sharp tools in there and pull it back. And then we're going to peel it off to the sides. To me, that was the best look, was not to actually remove the whole thing, but just to peel it off there a little bit. Let me go ahead and now when you do this, be very gentle if you're using something like this, that you don't go all the way through the layers. Yeah, see, like that. That's what I'm talking about. So, and then you can just kind of push it down and mold it where you want it to be. We can tear off a little bit so that they look like they are peeling. Let's see. Like I said, it won't matter up in there, so. Okay, so another trick to this, as we found with some of my other things, is to get it a little bit wet. If you get it wet, it does peel a lot easier. So I'm just going to wet that and then soak it into the cardboard. And that way, whenever I go to peel it, see, it's gives you really good look. I'm just going to peel a little bit of this in a couple different places like that. Okay. I'm not going to go too much doing that kind of stuff. Mostly I'm just going to tear up the ridges. Okay. I'm just going to repeat this right here all the way around, okay? Okay, just going to finish off the top now. I'm really liking, now as I add the inks and stuff like that, some of these areas will get slightly different looking, so I can always tear off more as we go along. Let me just, then I found that using this tool, using this one and then coming back in with the scoring one was giving me the better control over what I was doing. I'm not going up too far because of where I want to put the windows. So this right here will be a window. So I'll just dress it after I've made the rest of it. Okay. All right, let me clean up and then I will let that cardboard dry for just a second. Okay, so now I'm just going to put down some gesso, acrylic gesso. I'm going to put some right here on my mat. I don't want a whole lot to start with. So I also got my brayer to use. So I thought that might be helpful to putting this on there. I'm just kind of going to lightly go over it. Multiple directions. Hopefully I'm not going to be covering up too much of my markings so I can still see them later. But if I do, it'd be okay. I'll go back and re-add them. I'm going to be adding a lot of gesso, so it doesn't really matter if it's not completely covered. Kind of want to get it more in the highlighted areas. And like I said, it really doesn't matter in here where I plan on putting my windows, but if you don't have gesso, this step right here, you could probably use a little bit of watered down acrylic white paint would work too. We're just getting some color down onto it and making it look weather beaten. Trying to get back inside those grooves in here. Opening them back up. Where was the other one? I only had two on that side. So these will look like cracks, but if I peel them up, every time I get them wet, they kind of peel up a little bit more. So I just keep adding a little bit of water to them as I go. This one is kind of a messy job, so might have a paper towel or something standing by. Okay, so let's try it with the brayer and see. Okay. All right, let's get it more full coverage. So I want to make sure that all the edges are covered. Okay, so I got some colors that I was playing with. So I got the ice spruce spray stain, I got the ice spruce oxide spray, and I got the pumice stone spray stain. But I also brought in the Distress Ink Picket Fence, and from Delusions I got the white linen. All these different white textures, especially with the gesso, will make it look more authentic. And I also just a hint of color for the speckled egg. All right, now I don't want these to go everywhere, so I am going to use this spray box that I got. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oops, I'll put it this way, so hopefully you guys can see it better. I'm just going to tilt it like this, so hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm going to go ahead and get it wet. I like to use water for all of this. So, all right, let's start with the darkest one. I think that's going to be, I think that'll be the ice spruce spray stain. It'll be the darkest color. You guys can see that. So I'm just going to spritz it like that and let it run. May help it along a little bit with some water. Just like that. I have it tilted up, so yeah, that was definitely the darker color. Okay. See, already you can see how it's mixing with the gesso, making it look more 3D-ish of white. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and put down the pumice stone spray stain. I'm not even going to let that dry. I'm just going to put this down with it. Let those colors blend. This is a multi-layered thing, so we're just going to be layering and layering. Okay, it looks like it's running very nicely. I'm going to turn it this way so that I get some different looks to it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spray in this Delusions ink, the white one, and see. Okay, it's pretty heavy coverage there, that white, so. Okay, I'm going to try to back this way. All right, yeah, I've definitely lost my lines, but that'll be okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set this with the heat gun for a second. Okay, I'm going to grab a paper towel and I'm going to blot some of that up. There we go. All right, this is looking pretty good, but I do think I need some more of the tears. So I'm going to put it back here and I'm going to see how this is. This is what I want to look. So I'm just going to start peeling back. The more, the wetter it is, the more you can manipulate the pieces like this. So it looks, yeah, like that. See, I can just, now that it's wet, I can just move it very freely. And yeah, it'll stay like this more or less once it dries. Okay. I can faintly see where my marks are, so still pleased with that. This one here needs to be more, yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and tear that one a bit more. All right, now I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to do this edge here, knowing I'm going to be cutting right there. It's like, I think I can squeeze it together a bit more. Okay, I'm just going to flip it over so that I can reach the top. And the top is not as saturated yet. Yeah, the wetter it is, more easy it is to manipulate those. Okay. See the top of the windows right there. Okay. And I go down to it. All right, and let me see. Can I still see where the, nope. Okay, I see this one. Just gonna give that one a rip. So it looks kind of like it got ripped open in a storm or something. Okay, I'm not really seeing where to cut. Okay, oh, I see it right there. Okay. I'm gonna do a long one right there. Right there. Just to give it some more marks. Okay. There we go. I'm getting saturated. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set that again where I'd add water. I'm just going to grab my napkin just to grab up some of that water that I put down. Okay, and we'll go back to the box and add some more color. Hopefully you guys can see this. All right, so I think since it's at the dry stage, I'm going to run some of my speckled egg over it. I'm just going to go like this, straight onto the board. Oops, drop it apparently. May have to get out my other. Let me just grab it real quick. Okay, just grab my big one. There we go. Sorry, I think I might have moved that off camera. I couldn't see what I was doing. All right, so I added the blue. I'm not going to add the water to that one because I'm going to go ahead and cover it with some ice spruce oxide spray. I'm just going to really get in there where it's need more coverage in the inside. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add some water so that this runs. Okay, it's looking pretty weather beaten, but I think so. I'm just going to really saturate it so that I can get that to run. It was getting too dense for me. Yep, get in there. Grab this. Yep, get inside there. I really love getting my hands dirty, so. And keep manipulating it while it's wet. Don't wait for it to dry, just while it's wet is where you want to tear it and place it and position it. And tear it open. Tear these pieces up. And pinch them together. That's all I'm doing is pinching them. Kind of making them look ragged. And by getting your fingers in there, you're kind of spreading the inks around a little bit too. Okay. All right, that's looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it. Okay, let's look what we got here. Now is the time probably to gauge how much weather beading you want your door to be, and what other colors you would prefer to add. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a touch of brown. Yeah, touch. Well, it's got a lot of brown. I don't know. I think I'm going to try adding some of this picket fence. I'm just going to add it on there and brayer it. Just put it on my brayer. Just add it right there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I like that look. Yeah, that picket fence really. I'm gonna add just a bit more onto this side over here. I really like that. How that white of the picket fence picked back up. Yeah, this looks like a door that's had a lot of water damage, but that's kind of exactly what I was going for. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'll come back and see what it looks like in just a second. Okay, I really like the way that this is drying, but I do think I'm going to add some more picket fence. But this time I'm going to try to brush it in, see if I can get it into some of the areas that I think need it more. I really want it to be on the outside as a highlight color. I may have to go back and use the gesso, but the gesso was just, let me see if I can have any gesso left. And yeah, the gesso is just too bright. Okay, so I'm going to add some more picket fence. Just going to add it right here. Brush it right on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Slightly brighter shade. Okay, I'm going to come back and take some of that back off. It's actually where a lot of the window is going to be, so I guess that didn't really matter. Let's see, like some here. Trying to get it in the areas that I'm, and then just brush it over. Okay. Let's add some water to those areas. There we go. Now I'm getting it to move more. Oh yeah. That's what I was looking for. I want it in some areas that, like right here on the seam of the door. Yeah, I like that. Okay, do I need to open up anymore, you think? Let's see. I might need to, I'm going to tear that off, I think. Sometimes low exposure is better. Maybe some birdies were nesting in the door. Kind of what it looks like. Nesting birds, okay. And before I dry it, I need to make sure that these areas are open. Okay. All right. I'm going to dry it again. Okay. All right, let's try moving on to the next step because I really like how this has come out and the colors. Like I showed you in the examples, you can use whatever colors you want. I'm going to wipe this up a little bit. Okay, so the good news is I can faintly still see my outlines, so that's good. And I am going to cut the windows out now. I don't really want to cut the door just yet because I want to cut it after it's in the Whimsy Journal so that I can see exactly where to cut in case I need to offset the door a little bit or something like that. But I won't have much room because of the windows, but so I can faintly see. So I'm going to cut, and I have to be very careful that I don't cut down too far. So I'm just going to lightly press. Still slightly wet in here. Okay, I'm going to turn it and line them up with the lines that I had previously put in here. And you can kind of feel the back a little bit whenever you're pressing down. So yeah, just be very careful you're not going all the way through. So So there's my first window. Let's see if I can get the rest of them just as easy as that. Okay. Okay, that's all of them. Okay, did not go, kind of close to going through a couple spots, but that's okay. All right, now the next thing is to pull them up out of there. So that's where I'm going to use this to kind of wiggle it up. So we're just going to kind of peel it like this. Making sure I don't go too high right there. Okay. Just like that. And yeah, that may end up being too straight, but we'll see. I may come back and add something else, but let's try this again. Okay. Another panel gone. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I might start on the edge of this one. Kind of. Didn't tear that one down enough. Okay. Just have to re-tear that out. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and start here, getting this paper out. Okay. That should be okay for right now. All right, so now what I'm going to do is cut out these ridges. We don't need them. I mean, that would be kind of cool to put that, but no, I'm gonna tear them out. So I think I can just kind of lift them and tear them. Trying to get underneath of them a little bit. And try these two. Just need to pop it up. There we go. Now this layer you have to be careful that you don't get the back layer, because the back layer is what we're wanting to keep. So okay, just like that. And I may just leave this bit. Okay. All right, that's all we're going to be doing is taking out the ridges any way you can. That would have been cool too, to leave part of it and then not part of it. That would have been neat. Okay. All right. Got those little scragglies off there. Okay, now my next step is going to make sure that this is completely dry. And then I'm going to come back and add the things, to this and this. Okay, so I have embossed this piece of paper and it's going to go in the squares. So I know I need to cut this. So I'm going to cut it. These squares are 2 1/4. So I need 4 of them. So I'm just going to put it through here and do 2. Let's see if I can do. I do 2 1/4 this way. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do 2 1/4. I'm actually just going to go right to the edge. 2 1/4. Okay. And turn this one and do 2 1/4. There's one. Let's make sure it fits before I cut them. Okay, that's gonna push down in there. So I might want to do it just shy of 2 1/4. So let's see. 2, almost 2 1/4. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to do it that way. So I should have done it first. Okay, 2 1/4 this way. I'm just gonna do it just shy of 2 1/4. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, because okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Oh, that damaged that one, so I'm gonna turn it over and just there we go. And then this isn't large enough, so let's do this one. Just shy of 2 1/4, and just shy of 2 1/4. There we go. All right, now I got my 4 pieces right here, and what I was going to do is I'm going to put them. Making sure, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to be putting them in here, but before I do that, I am going to put these flowers on them. Let me see which way I want these to go. Like this. Okay, so I have these dried flowers, and I'm going to put a couple of these. I'm just going to dump them out on my desk. I'll pick them up later. Okay, so I'm going to need my tweezers. Here we go. Sorry. And I got these dried flowers, and I am going to put them on here, and then just a touch of glue just to hold them in place. Let me make sure I have that right where I want it. I wanted it like that. So drop a glue right here. Just to hold it there for a second. Okay, then I can have these flowers here. They're so delicate. Okay, so I think I'll do one big. And then, whoops, come back here. I think I'll do one big one. And one medium one. Yeah, like that. Just something to give it. Let me go up a little bit higher with this one. Okay. This is why I need the glue, just to hold it in place. Why I try to place these. Okay, I think I might make it go out this way. And then add some glue to the back. Let's see. That one go out that way. Yep. Oops, I broke it. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to do that for each one of these. And then I'm planning on putting them into a laminate pouch and laminating them. And then I will come back and show you before I cut them out. Okay, everything is now laminated. I just put them in there. I did add a bit of glitter hearts. It's not really glitter, it's just confetti hearts. That's what they are, confetti hearts. So I'm just going to cut these out and then glue them down into my piece here. I did go back on this and rough up the frame so that it wasn't quite so square. And then I added some shadows and that's it. That's all I did. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to cut as close to the edge as I can. If it comes open, then I'll just glue it down, but hopefully it won't come open. Okay, almost done. There we go. All right, so this one is going to go in this pocket. Fits perfect. Let me go ahead and do this one. Okay, so I'm just, push these down in here. Yeah, okay, so that's what that's going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and glue each one of these panels down. Just going to use my Fabri-Tac. Hopefully it's not gunked up. Okay. Another thing I thought about doing and changed my mind was sewing into the onto the cards themselves. Or these aren't cards, but these. But I changed my mind. I decided that I didn't want the look of sewing on this. I don't know why. I just decided against it. But it would have been cute. I think it would have been cute to go ahead and sew them. Just making sure it's all the way down to the bottom so that it adheres everywhere. I'm having to push it down right here. I don't want it to pop up. And I don't have anything to hold these in place. Okay. I wanted the 3D look, the depth. That's one reason why I cut these out instead of just gluing these right on top. I wanted that deep look to them. I'm going to get out my score. I'm going to get out this and hopefully be able to push it down further around the edges. Some places where I didn't get the cardboard enough. It's kind of sticking up. Okay, last one. Just kind of making sure it's all the way down everywhere. There we go. I think that gets down. Oops, one came up. Okay. There we go. I think they're all down now. Just checking the edges and the corners. And still might need a little bit of time to dry. Okay, so the next step that I'm going to do is I am going to put a hinge on here so that when I cut this down the middle, remember this is going to be my door. Yeah, I could just leave it as a whole door and flip it, but I think it'd be cuter to be two doors. So I'm going to put this here, hopefully, and see this, I put this through some fabric on the back of the heart, and it's just a pin, but I'm going to glue this part down here, and then this will go slide in and out of here as a, whenever it's all glued. So this will be glued down, and then this will slide up and down to open the doors. That's my plan. So let's see if I can get it correct. Actually want it about right there, I think. Yeah, that's cute. So let's see. Thought I had marked a good spot. Yeah, right there. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to punch a hole right here. Let me get my punch. I should have had this out. I'm sorry. Okay, so I need the big hole. And let's see. Oops, I'm going to have to get my bigger one because it won't slide all the way through. Just a second. Okay. So I got my big one. Making sure it's on the right hole. It is. Okay. I'm going to line it up. I already kind of I put a pen mark about where I want the hole to be. So right like that. Make sure it went all the way through. It did. Went all the way through. And I'm just going to put this on here and slide it through there like that. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. Maybe up a little bit. Right there. Hopefully that's going to hold. Okay, so I'm going to flatten these. Man, those are industrial. Very industrial. Okay. Oops, the key fell right off. So this may not work. So I may have to rethink my design. Hang on a minute. Okay. Not even sliding back on. I may have to get a different hinge piece. See, I was hoping that would hold. Right. Oops, now I got my key upside down. Okay, let me take that off. Slide it back on. Slide this back in the hole. Goodness. Okay, just like that. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Okay. Okay, there. Will it work? No. That's gonna fall off all the time. Okay, so I need to rethink this. I'm thinking maybe I should just get a key with a smaller end piece. So that's what, but this is what it would look like. So I'll go ahead and show you what it, well, there. And so when it's done, it's going to look like that. But this will be cut in half. So it'll be, you unhinge it and open it. So I hope you guys join me next time, because this is going to be a work in progress. I'm going to finish out the hinge, fix that, and then we have the whole back piece to actually do. I hope you guys have a blessed day.